Why? I'm going to tell you this, there's so little here. Other than what happened with CM Punk, other than what happened at the end, and we only got 3 real matches. 4th one really doesn't count. It was cut short. There is not much here. I'm not telling you that there wasn't important stuff here. I'm just telling you there's not much here. And why? It's not the title. You see the title. But honestly, I'm like perplexed here. But let's go through the matches really quickly. First match for the Money in the Bank for the women. You got Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Michin. Now, we did get a chance to finally see a little bit Bianca with Jade Cargill. Talking basically about the match. Talking about what's going to happen when they try to get the rematch. Fine. I want to make it very clear. What we got for the match was fine. What we're getting for Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair is a setup for them to break up. Now, do I believe this is the wisest thing? I'm telling you right now. I don't know about anyone else. I'm sure they're happy that Jade is away from the tag titles because they're really a dead title right now. They're not really focusing on it. But the point of the title was to give time to Jade Cargill to get better in the ring. And she's not there yet. To get better as a talker. She's not there yet. Get better as a character. She is not there yet. And it feels like they're rushing her to get to Bianca. And that's a big mistake. Going into SummerSlam, because that's the way it looks like they're booking it, it's wrong. I'm going to tell you the truth here. I'm saying this now. Jade Cargill, I was very worried about. I said it months ahead of time where everyone else said, this is going to be a game changer. This is going to be great with her. I said, they need to train her correctly. They need to give her time to learn how to do what WWE does. And it would have been better if she'd gone to NXT. Yes, that's where she should have gone. And as it stands right now, that she became tag champ, and she's been sloppy on almost every match she's been in. Doesn't mean she isn't impressive. She's still sloppy. They decided to take the titles off of both of them, where it should be about her, even if she does singles matches, as long as she had a title, it would give her some relevancy. But now they decide to strip her the title, basically her losing, Bianca taking the pin, eating the pin. We see them talking about getting the titles back. You see the match with Michin and Chelsea Green, and there was only 2 outcomes I thought that could happen here. I knew Michin was not going to win because of how they've been booking her, and I say this again. Michin needs to leave WWE. She's now done 2 stints in there, and they've done nothing with her. Period. It's not about if you don't like her or not. They legitimately have never done anything much with her. They care about who's coming up through the Performance Center than anyone who's been more substantial either in Impact Wrestling / TNA, in any other place, maybe Stardom, Shimmer, if she went to GCW. I know that someone already said, you know who you are, my friend, saying GCW is different now. If that was during that time when she was not there and finally decided to go back, and MLW in any other place, they're not doing anything with her. I hope her contract is almost up and she just leaves, because there's no point in it. No point at all. There's no point in her staying. So it was either they were going to let Bianca win, which could cause a wedge eventually between her and Jade Cargill, let Bianca lose, and then make Bianca lose again when they try to get the tag titles again, so they will put a wedge even more deeper between Jade and her. Either way, it looks like they wanted to make a wedge between Jade and Bianca, because they let Chelsea Green get the win here. Chelsea, who has not barely won anything, who's been basically the mouthpiece for Piper Niven. Chelsea is the one that's going into the ladder match. I'm not telling you that's the right thing. I'm not telling you that's the wrong thing. That's what we got. Next, the second letter, the last 2 matches before what happened with Cody and Solo are the ladder match. You see I'm botching here because when you look at what we got here, the first match, Carmelo Hayes, Tama Tonga, and Randy Orton, you would think Randy should be the one to go at least get into that match. Now, of course, many people say Randy is not substantial anymore. Yes, he is. Or they're going to say Randy, he has a low back problem. Maybe it'd be better if he's not in it. Yes, he does have a back problem, but doesn't mean he couldn't still do the match. As long as he knows how to take care of himself. But we didn't get that. We got not Tamaloga and not Randy Orton. Tamaloa and Randy Orton. We got Carmelo Hayes. Now, Melo, I know Melo. I've watched Melo for 2 straight years. More than 2 years. On NXT roster. When it was 2.0 until it reaches now 3.0. I've watched him. He may be green. Yes, when it comes to talking. He's not that great of a talker. He's still a bit green. He's a good wrestler. Yes, he does have good skills in the ring. He is substantial when it has charisma. Yes. But do I believe he belongs in a ladder match? Yes, he does. But we are talking about Randy Orton. And I wouldn't mind seeing Randy Orton win something. At this point. Setting him up to win something would be good. But that's just me. Second match. KO, Waller, and Andrade. Seeing KO get nailed before he got in the match. You're hoping he's alright. He was limping pretty badly during that match and afterward. I know if he could sell, there's no problem, he could sell. But he might have sold a little bit too much. It makes me a little concerned. Doesn't mean he's not hurt or he is hurt. He just mostly selling it a lot more than what it was, unless he's really hurt. In the end, we got Andrade winning. It's kind of hard to say that was the wisest thing. Let's make it clear. Grayson Waller is in a storyline with Austin Fury, with DIY, due to the fact that they're showing that Austin doesn't mean anything to Grayson. And if he had been put into the ladder match, that would make it more easier when they break away. Grayson as a heel and yes, Austin as a face. No one really is 100% interested in him as a face. Doesn't mean he couldn't pull it off, possibly. But it would make better sense than Andrade Cien Almas, who has done almost nothing on the ring roster. Yes, the Delgado El Fantasma is interested in him, but is that more substantial than Grayson and Austin Fury, who are current tag champs? And they're not really promoting Delgado that strongly. And the feud, well, they're not promoting him that strongly with Andrade, who looks like he's going to have a feud with a Santos Escobar. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it. Now, let's talk about Santos Escobar in the fight with LA and Logan Paul. I'm going to tell you this. Am I interested in Logan Paul dealing with LA? Yes, I am. It's good. Injecting... Look, I'm not against Santos Escobar. But do I believe he belongs in that triple threat? Nope. He don't feel like he belongs there. He doesn't. But this is what we got. We got this situation. And did he talk well? Yeah. Did LA talk well? Yes. Did he get blunt force trauma to the head from LA? Yes, he did. And did LA get not blunt force trauma, but essentially trauma to the head and then a steel-plated fist to the face by Logan Paul? Yeah. Good ending to it. Fine. CM Punk. CM Punk opens the show because they are in Chicago. They are in the Allstate Center. Well, Allstate Arena. Was it good? Yeah. Talking about pressure. Messing with Drew McIntyre, who supposedly he quit. Which we knew he wasn't going to quit. They didn't even give it a week. That's the thing that gets me. You couldn't wait until next week. You couldn't give CM Punk some time. Particularly with that moment with Paul Heyman. That moment Paul got into the ring, the ECW chants, him begging Punk to leave because he knew there was a chance he was going to get attacked. He has not been cleared yet, supposedly. And he knew they were going to attack him. And he was legitimately concerned about him because he loves him so much. That I kind of wish they had played a little bit more into it and gave at least one more week. But they didn't even bother to do that. Because once you see Grayson Waller with DIY complaining because Austin wasn't there, you see that CM Punk got his ass laid out, bleeding, blood on the hands of Drew McIntyre, and you see Nick Aldis. And this is something I would love to see one day, if Nick ever goes back into wrestling, and maybe on WWE. Nick Aldis versus Drew McIntyre. Oh, I want to see that match. I want to see that match. I know how they both wrestle. I want to see that wrestle match. But that's not coming too soon. But it felt like it was rushed. You got 2 weeks. You got until July 6th. You don't have an extra week? Of course you do. You could have added that extra weekend, but I just feel like it was rushed. That's how it feels. That's how this feels. Due to the fact of such a constraint, when you got Clash of the Castle and Money in the Bank back to back, it's almost impossible to book it right. And I'm not letting them have a pass. This feels like it was rushed. It didn't need to even happen. They didn't need to lay out CM Punk. Yeah, you can have Drew face him, but I don't think he need to wipe him out. That's just me. Okay. I'm not going to talk about Bayley. That's not happening. Because of what happened with Davenport and Naomi. I'm not talking about that. I know you may say something about it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it. Let me give it to you like this. The ending of the last match with Solo and Cody, I knew something was going to happen. And it did. Cody gets DQ'd. The beatdown happens. Yes, we had Randy come out. Yes, we had KO limping out. But the key of this entire thing I am perplexed. I don't know why they did it. Well, actually, I am. I was perplexed in the beginning, but I had to think about it. And there's only 3 options why they did it. For Jacob Fatu to appear, who looks... Guys, I know what Jacob Fatu looks like. Understand, I did MLW reviews. I did reviews on Jacob Fatu. He was built like Solo Sequoia. He was built like Rikishi. He was built like Umaga. He was not a small guy. He was thick. And now he looks skinny as hell. I'm not surprised if he's got this and he's got abs of steel. That man is skinny. He's thinner than Solo. And Solo is not like super heavy set, but he's built thick. And Jacob Fatu was the same way, built thick, and he ain't built thick no more. The boy went from gink to gink. He looks great. But here's the problem. You have 15 days left. Roughly 15 days left. And you just blew your load now. And there's only 3 reasons why they would do that. 3. First one is that they're setting something up with Jacob now, so when it happens in Money in the Bank, they'll have him already established for the next 2 weeks. Next week and the week after, going into July 5th, because July 6th is when they're having Money in the Bank Saturday. So you have 2 weeks. 2 episodes of SmackDown to see Jacob Fatu, counting on how much they're going to show him. How much they're going to show him, how much he's going to talk, and what type of presence he'll show in his dominance. The Wolf is there. That is the first possibility. Second possibility, they just have no idea what to do with him. And they decided right now to just blow their load flat out because they have no idea what to do. They didn't know what to do with him. They had no plans for him for Money in the Bank other than just showing up there. They thought, well, it's not necessary for him to be shown now at Money in the Bank because we got so much there. He'll probably not be able to fit in. So we're just going to show him here now, and that we will just go for the next 2 weeks and he will be a part of the bloodline, and that will be it. That's number 2. The third one is the most saddest of them all. Because the second one, that's not good. The first one makes the best sense. They got a plan already. Something's going to happen at Money in the Bank. And having him available right now, the setup for that, I understand. But the third one is simple. SmackDown sucks. SmackDown sucks. SmackDown sucks. Let's be honest. There has not been a lot that's been going on SmackDown. The most substantial thing we've had is Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Cody, he hasn't had that many great opponents. Solo's not a great opponent for him. But they don't really have anybody. The Rock can't come back. He's injured at this time. From what I understand, Rock is actually injured. And he was doing, in between his filming, he's injured. So it's not like he's going to be able to come back by the time he finishes his stint in the movies that he's producing. He's going to be out even longer than he needs to. Roman's not coming back yet unless it's going to be there. So it's not like they're going to show Roman on TV. So if they literally had nothing else next to CM Punk getting laid out by Drew McIntyre, who said he's quit, they just said, you know what? Let's just throw well, you see him getting angry. They throw Solo Sikoa under the bus, let him lose. Because that is a DQ match. That's how you protect Solo. But this wasn't about Solo. This was just about getting some ratings pop. And you brought out a Jacob Fatu just to boost the ratings, just to rub it into AEW. That's the way it is. They want to make it clear that Rampage means nothing. And since Rampage will be coming on after a SmackDown, and they know for a fact that whichever has the most interest is going to be the most talked about on YouTube, there you go. They wanted to make sure that Rampage was buried even more than it normally is. So that's why Jacob Fatu appeared. This is the 3 possibilities. 3. If anybody says, why are you thinking that it's going to be there's nothing for SmackDown, or they just have no plans, those are 3 possibilities why they would be stupid enough to blow their load so early with Jacob Fatu waiting so long instead of showing him on a pay-per-view. Money in the Bank is substantial. It's not the big 4 pay-per-view, but it's a substantial pay-per-view. It's not one of the big minor one. It's a big minor one, but you get my point. It's just the way it is. And simply put, if they had no plan for him, if they had no absolute idea what to do with SmackDown, and they did those 2, that is stupid. Now, if they do have a plan, and they just wanted them seen now, so when Money in the Bank comes out, they can implement it, I understand. But if it's not the one I'm saying, the first one, this was stupid. It's stupid. Because they had no plans on Money in the Bank, and they just decided to let them just be seen, or to pop a rating on SmackDown, because soon SmackDown will be moving to USA in the next couple of months, and they want to try and make us drum up as much interest as possible, because Raw right now is the most greatest focus because it will be going on Netflix soon. They want to make as much interest in Raw because they want people to watch Netflix from this moment until it actually transitions. Just me. Peace.